Namaste, you guys. I hope you all are doing amazing. I am better. I had a few downloads this morning, and it was talking about. Sorry, I'm releasing. It was talking about understanding your why. Thank you, Spirit. Understanding your why. Why you are creating the life you are creating. And to understand that a force outside of your will was creating or has been creating your life unbeknownst to you, right? And that is the purpose of healing, to understand the forces that is creating your life, right? And so when you gain those understandings, when you experience those profound inner shifts, right? When you experience those huge release, you are able to bring in more of your soul's truth that comes from the truth, just the ultimate truth, the absolute of what your soul is, of who you are and what you are. And when you are in that state of healing, like, learn when to detach from it, okay? Like, don't allow it to bring bitterness or separation between the truth of what you are and the identity of what you are. I hope that makes sense, okay? Because Spirit is telling it to me as I'm telling it to you all. And so when you can look at your healing as a uncovering, as a removal of the blindfolds, as a process that removes the blindfolds, you are able to understand the why you made certain decisions, why you felt a way that you felt, why you attract certain things in your life, right? And so I guess I'm getting to this state to where they're having me aware that there is no healer, right? The no self theory. I do a lot of alchemy, or Spirit has me doing a lot of alchemy, because I am to transcend the limitations of the self, the personality self, right? And the personality self can have multiple layers to itself, okay? And that's what some people may call borderline personality disorder. It's just one ego shell just experiencing its life through different glasses. And they are narrating and running the show, running your experiences, okay, by your emotions, by the decisions that you make, by the choices that you take. You are being led by that. And when you understand you are being led in that way, you're able to see it and do something different. Follow the music of the angels, your ancestors, your inner guidance, your compass, right? Your true north, living from your north node. You're able to follow that path. And so the path of the destined self, not the path of the fated self, because you keep making decisions that are harmonized with the woundedness, the pain, the ancestry, lineage, okay, the colonization, you're no longer functioning from that path, right? Or from that string, that web that weaves itself continuously in a loop over and over and over again that you will never come off of, right? And so I had a realization about the no healer theory. And so it's just pretty much came through as there is no healer. There is no ancestry baggage. There is no family soul ties. There is no hurt self. There is no disappointed self. There is no, none of those selves, right? There is only awareness to the happening, to what happened. There is only awareness to what happened. And when you live from the state of awareness, you're able to step back and take informed decisions, actions. To allow yourself to know that you're not moving from the past versions of you. You are moving forward in newness, okay? In new, exciting curiosity, expectations, okay? And it just kind of had me feeling like the awareness of it all, the witness of it all, like someone needed to bear witness to it. And it can be as simple as that, you bearing witness to the pain, you bearing witness to it, to the colonizing, to the farming, to the breeding, to the hurt, to the sadness, to the unjust, unfair. You're bearing witness to it to say, I no longer continue to live in that cycle, to live in that rhythm. And it may take some adjusting to live from that space, because the only space you ever lived from was that colonized space. And it's like, I'm hearing that's how you quantum jump. You quantum jump in that way when you witness it. And you lay no claim to it, even when the voices come up, the thoughts come up. That can be judging, that can be blame, that can be guilt, hurt, shame, and defeat. You witness it because you understand why it was programmed into you. And you witness it, and then you go back. Then you go forward. And your witness to it, okay, you are witnessing it in love. You are witnessing it in a state of divine awareness. And it's like how the Most High is showing me right now. It's like the Most High has witnessed it all. And when you witness it with the Most High, that brings the healing into it. And so it's like the more you bear witness to it, to the thoughts, to the feelings, to the emotions of the fractured self, the perceived to be fractured self, the more you bear witness to it, the more you bring it home. The more you bring it home to love, the space of love, okay? And so that was like a message that was coming through for me, and I wanted to come on here and share this message with you all, because maybe, you know, it'll help you quantum leap. Okay, I guess I just needed to be the one to witness it all, to understand it all, so that I can no longer allow it to keep me bound to it. I don't know. And then I heard, well, what I just heard was that I witnessed it all. That's just my soul signature. To witness it all. To understand it. So that I can transform it. And so, you know, the soul self is the one that heals. It is not me that is the healer. It is the soul that does it. It is the soul that transmutes it, transcends it with the Most High. It just brings it to my awareness. And when I become aware of it and how it's from the higher perspective, it gets transformed. And so but those are some messages that came up, okay? And so I wanted to pull some energy to see, you know, what's out here, okay? Like, don't allow the lies, the illusions to steal what you know is your truth, okay? Don't allow this outside reality to have you juggling your truth, what your truth is, okay? And it's like, come to that place of stillness, that place of witnessing, that place of observing it, okay? Like looking at it from a different perspective, right? Like, don't allow it to suck you back in, okay? Grounded. I'm hearing the spirit of the groundedness, like the spirit of my ancestors, that grounded earthly ancestor energy, like grounding you in the space of the now, okay? It's like, man, grounding you in that space of your truth, okay? So that you're not juggling what you see in this outside reality, right? And man, this is crazy. So that you're not in the suspended state of juggling your truth, okay? So that you're able to, and this doesn't feel like manifest. Oh my God, Spirit, quit playing with me. I was gonna say, this doesn't feel like manifestation. This feels like allowance, okay? This feels like when you're in this state of, I know who I am. I get my fulfillment comes from spirit, right? You're in that space of content with what you are. You're in that state of content with what resides inside of you, knowing your truth, that you become unshakable to this, to the things in your outside reality that has you, 1444 just passed on my timer, that has you juggling, am I this or am I that? Am I this or am I that, right? And so sometimes we can be in that suspended state of not knowing your truth because you're listening to thought forms, you're listening to emotions, but man, spirit is coming through to clear thought forms, false thought forms, okay? Because we have the bringing in the sword of truth and heavy emotions to ground in your truth, right? I cannot make this up. That's crazy. And that's why I said it didn't feel like the magician energy. It felt like an allowance of vibrational frequency for just existing, okay? I don't know if I said in the beginning, when you're in a state of following the angels or not. I should have said that, because as I was writing, I cannot make this up. As I was writing this download that I got, I'm gonna show you this download that I got. It was the Weaver card, and the download that I got from the Weaver card, I wrote on that card, no longer being trapped in the web of illusion, no longer being suspended in a state of confusion. And I wrote on, taking your inner child and following your music, following the music to the angels. I'm trying to find that card, because when I get these downloads, I write them on these cards. Like, I always pull cards and I leave them for myself at night, and then I'll come back to it the next day to see the message. Where's that card? Here it goes, the Weaver. And then you see how the angels is playing the music, right? And then the ancestors, this is spirit to me. Like, she got the baby on her back and she just gone. And she's no longer stuck in this same energy over and over and over again, okay? And this boar, you know, that energy of that stubbornness. The boar can represent being stubborn. The boar can represent being hard-headed, right? And that's what I wrote on here, listening to the music of the angels, the sound of the angels, right? And playing your tune with them, co-creation with them, right? Because the angels are playing a tune, spirit is playing a tune, and you're listening to that melody and you are playing this instrument with them, right? Man, I cannot make this up. And so that's the energy that you come into, okay? Temperance, right? That energy of flow. You see how the cups, the water is, you know, that sunny, bright energy, that patience, be still. I know what to do, right? You know what to do from a space of intuition. You know what to do from a space of, I experienced that before. Let me do something different, right? You know what to do because you turned your past into wisdom, right? And man, just being able to sit in that stillness, right? I cannot make this up. Being able to sit in that stillness, right? The Empress card, being able to receive. And that's why I said allowance. This felt like an allowance to me. It didn't feel like a manifestation. This felt like an allowance, okay? This is an allowance because you're now in a state of flow. You're in a state of emotional fulfillment of your highest truth, right? And then we have the Tower, and then we have the Sun, and then the King of Wands, right? Being able to take action from a space of clarity, right? Because the Sun brings clarity after this Tower, right? But because you went through this Tower, had you not experienced this tower, like this false foundation, right? As I was speaking about in the beginning, right? The false foundation, this false house that you were living out of, right? This false sense of safety, this false place of being, right? That kept you in this conflict, lack, being left out in the cold, holding on to the bare minimum, right? Man, having you like in your wounded masculine, like that wounded divine feminine and divine masculine space, right? Understanding how you were taking, why you took the steps that you took, why you do a certain thing. I think I said this yesterday, right? And when you understand that you no longer have to choose from a space of, I need this right now. It's either sink or swim. You're choosing from a space of awareness to say that I have options. There is a plan B. There is a plan C, right? You have an option. It's like this or that. There is no more take this or that. There is only moving from a space of true, authentic resonance with spirit, okay? It's like following the music, okay? 10 of Pentacles. I cannot make this up. Not knowing which way to go, who to choose. Remember I was saying either this or that, right? Because you're blinded to the truth, right? And spirit is like, there is no this or that. There is this and that. There is no or to it. There is both, okay? And spirit is like, now that you have options, right? You have options like to stand in your truth, stand in your knowing, right? To be able to be strong when the unknown is presented to you, okay? You can stand strong in the unknown, knowing that spirit is on its way. Spirit is working things out for you, okay? That you can like stop searching, right? Stop searching and believe and depend on spirit. Back to that childlike state, okay? Because it is time for you. Spirit has made a judgment call, right? Your ancestors have made that judgment call for you to step into this state of blind faith, okay? Just jumping out on the side. But look at that dog. It's right there letting it know, right? Man, I cannot. Look, spirit set these cards up perfectly. Man, so that you can leave this behind, so that you can look out on the horizons to something new, okay? So that you're able to see the newness, right? Because if you're focused on this energy, the lack, you know, the emotional pain, the sorrow, the guilt, they did this, they did that, you know, energy, you're not able to see the offering that spirit is offering to you. And look at this girl. It's like she's standing right next to this cup. She's able to see it, grounded. She's grounded, holding on to that staff of truth. We have 222 out here. That's balanced truth, okay? With the 2 of Cups, the 2 of Swords, and the 2 of Wands. That's grounded, balanced truth. Being able to see, okay? And so, man, I should have said this. I promise you I should have said this. Let me tell you why. Because I kept looking at this. It kept bringing my attention to this. And I was like, the only thing, I was thinking to myself, the only thing that's missing is this, the 6 of Pentacles, okay? And then we have the World. I cannot make this up. This is good energy, okay? Because, and then the 9 of Pentacles up under the 6 of Pentacles. It's like for far too long, we've been in this space of giving our power away to things outside of us. The Knight of Swords, the 7 of Wands, okay? Far too long we've been in the space of choosing options quickly because we feel like we need to choose from survival modes. We're choosing from a state of survival mode, a state of I gotta get it, that hustler mode. And Spirit is like, no more of that, right? And so when you choose to live from the state of witness, right, the state of bearing witness to the pain that was caused to yourself, to your ancestors, to your inner child, when you choose awareness to that, you no longer, it's like you're writing this new story, this new timeline. Okay, you're writing a new timeline. World card. This is proof that you're writing a new timeline of security, a new timeline of safety, right? A new timeline of stillness, a new timeline of your emotional truth, right? Your mental clarity, right? A new timeline of, man, grounded truth, to where you're seeing your truth, and nothing in this outside reality can take you off of that throne, right? And you're in that space, right? To where you are, the angels like keeping you shielded and protected, because they show me the Seven of Wands again in the other tarot. And man, being in this state, okay, but not in this state. You see the difference in this energy? It's like she's defending this right here, this growth, right? Like this. And so she's choosing not from this end, but from this end, or she's protecting herself from this end, right? I don't know, they brought a significance to this being at the bottom, this survival mode instead of growth, right? And Spirit is, you know, showing you new growth patterns, new things, right? New options, new ways of being, okay? And so it's like you seeing that because you're in this state of grounded peace, that sacred solar plexus chakra, right? You're in that state of that grounded King of Pentacles energy, right? That healthy King of Pentacles. I mean, King of Wands. I said Pentacles, but I meant Wands. So both of them. So you're moving healthily in your passionate King of Wands, right? You are taking the actions in your healthy King of Wands energy, right? You're energetic behind your doings, right? You're going forward energetically, right? And then you're grounded in with that healthy King of Pentacles and with that intuitive King of Cups energy, right? You getting the downloads, you moving softly with it, not forcefully with it, right? And it's just like, man, you could find this truth in your meditation, okay? Moving swiftly, okay? So that you can see what it is that you need to see, because these downloads that I got, they were in my meditation. And so it just came through really, this energy, it just came through really fast. And then you being able to notice, and I was, look, you're not in this state, right? This unhealthy state, I gotta get it, right? Excuse me. This unhealthy emperor, I gotta get it. I gotta get mine. I'm gonna do by any means necessary. Thank you, Spirit. Type of energy, excuse me. When I channel, I burp. You may see me doing that often. And so I have to release the energy from me. And it's like you're not in that state anymore. Like, the best way I can get it, I gotta get it, right? And it's just like you seeing it differently. The Chariot card, the Wheel of Fortune. Look, I cannot make this up. Look at all these major arcanas out here, okay? Cycles being completed from past life, okay? You knowing what you are within. You're no longer bound by this energy, okay? You're no longer bound by this energy. You've become unbound from this energy, okay? And so that's exactly what this feels like. You're not fighting with yourself anymore. Because we have the Five of Wands and the Lovers pop out. So you're not fighting with that inner truth anymore. Okay, you're coming to the realization of what you really are. Okay, Ten of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Ace of Pentacles. And I was just thinking again, I should say that. Where's the Ace of Pentacles, right? Why wouldn't I think that? Because all the other aces are out here, right? And it's just like you working towards that fulfillment, okay? So keep going, guys. This is the energy that's outside today. Well, at least that's in my awareness, okay? I pray this is what your awareness is also. If not, I pray that this message gives you an understanding of what is really happening, thank you, Spirit, behind the scenes, okay? Because I feel like if you all are waiting, in a space of waiting for change to happen, there is change happening. And I feel like Spirit wanted to bring this to your attention, that it's time to release the attachment that somebody did me wrong, that somebody did a thing to me, somebody, you know, entrapped my ancestors, enslaved my ancestors. Spirit wants you to look at the bigger picture and to see it from a state of, that is what happened. That is its truth in entirety. But I choose not to be victim to it anymore. And that's like releasing the state of victimhood, right? Releasing